Being an empath in today's day and age can be a particular challenge, especially with all the craziness going on in the world right now. Have you ever wondered how to deal with being an empath? If so, this video is for you. My name is Tiffany Toombs. I'm a high-performance mindset coach that has worked with thousands of people across the world to help them truly master their mind, heal their inner trauma so they can step into their full potential. In this video, I'm going to share with you what an empath actually is, because a lot of people don't actually have it right. And there's a lot of people calling themselves an empath when they're actually not. So I'm going to set the record straight. Then I'm going to share with you why people can struggle with being an empath. And lastly, I'm going to share with you exactly what you need to do to make your life as an empath truly be a gift instead of being something that you have to struggle through. So what is an empath? An empath is someone who is highly sensitive or highly intuitive to the people and the environment around them. They oftentimes pick up information from what people don't say. They're able to typically feel what other people are feeling or to feel different energies in the world. Now, this actually is a gift, even though it can feel like, why do I have to feel so intensely what everybody else is feeling? Now, not everybody who believes they're an empath is actually an empath. Some people, especially those who have experienced any form of trauma or abuse in their childhoods, learn to start paying attention to how everybody else is feeling, or to assume what everybody else is feeling in the room so that they can people please, or they can rescue, or they can just avoid being abused or traumatized in the future. This is actually a survival technique that people pick up that doesn't actually serve them. So if it doesn't serve them, why do people take on the traits of being an empath when they're not really one? Well, the honest answer is that when we're in traumatic or chaotic situations and we feel like if we show up as the version of ourselves that we truly are, either we won't be loved or accepted, or we won't be safe and secure, or even a combination of the two. When we believe that we won't be safe or we won't be loved, then we betray who we are and become who we think we need to be in that situation in order to survive. It's like we become a little bit of a chameleon in order to survive each situation, which means we'll take on identities, empath, perfectionist, people pleaser, in order to get through that situation. And each of those identities comes with their own personality traits. Now, when we survive that situation by becoming something that we're not really, then our brain says, okay, this is who we need to be moving forward to ensure our survival. So because we survived once, we keep repeating that pattern of behavior over and over to survive future events. But at some point, it stops serving us because we're really betraying who we are, and you cannot find success, achievement, or fulfillment by avoiding and betraying who you truly are. So now that we know what an empath is, why do people struggle with being an empath? Before I share that with you, I would love to have you subscribe to my channel. I am putting out brand new videos every single week and guided meditations to help you truly master your mind and step into the truest version of who you are. So go ahead and click that subscribe button below and like this video while you're there. So the reason that people struggle with being either an empath or even with the false identity of being an empath is there's this perception in the world that to be an empath means that you have to take on everybody else's emotions around you. And because the majority of the population in this world has not dealt with their trauma, has not dealt with their emotional baggage, and is constantly in a state of anger, stress, anxiety, depression, or any other number of negative and really heavy and intense emotions, empaths feel like what they have to do is to take that on. And so then they can become anxious. They can hate crowds of people because it becomes overwhelming for their nervous systems and their brain to process the sheer volume of negative emotion and energy that's around them. However, this isn't actually totally true. You're not destined to just take on everybody's negative emotions just because you're an empath, or just because you believe you're an empath, or because you're a highly sensitive person. It doesn't even matter what label you give to it. You are not destined to take on everybody else's emotions for the rest of your life. Those emotions will only stick in your body if you have an emotional hook for them. So as somebody who identified as an empath for a very long time, I would go into a room of people and I would be overcome with sadness and hurt and depression and anxiety and anger. And it was exhausting. But I hadn't dealt with any of my emotional hooks. I hadn't dealt with my triggers and my baggage. And I was still holding on to all of this trauma from my childhood. So what I needed to do was to let go of those emotional hooks. And as soon as I started doing that, I was able to listen and have compassion and empathy for people's stories without needing to take on their pain as my own. So how do we let go of those emotional hooks? Before I share that with you, I want to hear from you. As somebody who identifies as an empath, do you also believe that you are a total introvert and you hate crowds? And is the reason to that because of all the emotions and energies out there are overwhelming for you? Go to the comments below and let me know. So whether you rightly or wrongly identify as an empath or a highly sensitive person, if you find yourself taking on the emotions of other people and getting caught up in their pain and their struggles, you have to do the inner work. We have to do our own personal healing to let go of those emotional hooks. This means we need to heal the inner children that we have by giving them a voice, allowing them to be seen and to be heard so that they can grow up. That part of our brain can grow up and it no longer sabotages us when we're in a stressful situation. We need to understand the limiting beliefs that we have and that we hold on to allow that to be reprogrammed so that we can create a new reality. And we need to actually feel our own emotions so that we're not triggered by other people feeling them. Now, I know that there's a lot of modalities out there that you just lay on a table and go to sleep and somebody will move energy around for you or hypnotize you and then you can just wake up and you think you're going to feel better. But healing is an active journey. Healing requires you to be part of it. This doesn't mean that it has to be a negative or a time-consuming process. You can actively be involved in your healing using techniques like NLP, active hypnosis, or even some plant medicine therapies. But you have to be part of it, and we have to feel our emotions to truly let go of them and release them from the body. Now, if you want more tools that will help guide you through this process of overcoming fear, overcoming imposter syndrome, and so much more, I would love to have you join the 6-day Mind Mastery Challenge. In this challenge, I'm sharing with you the most powerful tools that my clients pay me thousands of dollars to have access to, and right now you can get them absolutely free. All you have to do to get instant access is go to nlpworksheet.com or click on the link in the description below. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.